Good afternoon. I'm late today. Let me just share my video on my business pages. If you're coming on, say hi. This is an interesting topic today. I won't spend too much time on this topic either, but it's kind of self-explanatory. Cool. All shared. I'm all shared. Guys, I went running this morning. I did 3 miles. I'm exhausted. So exhausted. So this isn't going to be too long, but every time I say that, it's a long video, right? I noticed that. Also, I think it's long when it's like 15 minutes, almost 20 minutes. I think a lot of people are wondering, I'm just making this assumption, why the videos aren't longer. And I guess because I'm a millennial, my attention span, and that's part of being an empath too, actually, my attention span is very, very low. So I assume other people are. So, I try to make the videos concise, because even if I put together a long video, and even the videos that I watch, even the ones that are super interesting, like Till Swan actually has videos that are like 25 minutes. I think that's a bit long. I mean, I try to stay to the end, but like I'm telling you, my attention span is it's not quite there. So hopefully these are, sometimes my lives are like 8 minutes, sometimes they're like 15 minutes. I had one that was 18 minutes the other day. But so I hopefully the time is okay for you guys. So short and sweet. Exactly. Like I'm just trying to get the point across, and there's no point of me just chatting just to chat, right? So, all right, so let me go ahead and introduce myself. I'll get into it. My name is Justine Leslie. I am an intuitive and spiritual coach. I help people achieve emotional freedom using intuition, spirituality, Eastern philosophy, and universal law. And I'm a huge empathic supporter, as well as supporting those that are going through a spiritual awakening. I also do angel card readings. I'm highly intuitive and crystal healing. So if you're interested in any of those, let me know. You can message me online, or I can throw my scheduler in the comments where you can book some time to talk with me and, figure out what all of these things I do entail or how we can work together. So whatever works for you. So let me just take a sip of this coffee first. And by the way, I don't know if anybody's ever had mushroom coffee, but people keep telling me to try it. I'm going to try it soon when I get back from my trip. So, okay, anyway, I've been talking about this topic for a really long time. This is focused on you, empaths. If you're an empath, that's somebody that feels energy very deeply. You pretty much absorb everything like a sponge. That's the best way for me to put it. So we feel differently, we act differently, we behave differently, and we certainly love differently. When I say differently, it's a little bit more intense than the usual, but than the typical, right? But that's okay. It's a gift. It's not a curse. I just read something the other day. I've been doing some diving deep in a lot of spiritual books and really getting back in there, but really diving deep about having compassion for people that don't have a lot of empathy, because think about not being able to feel, for someone else. I know it can be intense sometimes, empaths, but, think about people that are psychopaths. And I know, right? How do you feel bad for a psychopath? That's a true miracle, right? I was talking about miracles yesterday, about how it's simply... a miracle is simply a shift in perspective from fear to love. And if we can do that in a lot of different areas in our life, I think we'll see a change in the collective consciousness. But that's just my opinion, right? So I wanted to talk about, I don't know if people aren't on here because they don't know what a starseed is. I didn't know what it was, to be honest with you. Here's a really great definition that I like going by. So starseeds are individuals who exist here on the Earth in a three-dimensional human body, but whose soul may have originated from another planet, star system, galaxy, dimension, or parallel universe. Yeah. So, with that being said, just to be clear, my beliefs are resonated in reincarnation. I do believe that we have multiple lives. I'm actually going to be reading, guys, I'm such a book nerd, like, you have no idea. I love it, though. I love it. I will always use the books. Like, I will never get a Kindle. My mom gave me, like, a Kindle one time. I don't even use it. I like the actual books. Anyway, and it's about how old is your soul, right? And we've heard terms like, you know, old soul, new soul for, like, a really long time. But there is just something deep inside of me, and I know what it is, right? I know it's my intuition. I know it's my soul calling out to me, telling me that I am an old soul. I love very deeply. I'm an empath to begin with, right? I think, you know, for me and the work I've been doing around studying empaths is that people are born into this three-dimensional life as empaths because we have work to do. We're light workers, and we have, it's our responsibility to bring the light where the dark is, where the darkness is, and we have the responsibility to open up consciousness. So I think that's the spiritual reason behind why people are empathic, right? And also, you know, being an empath is similar to being a highly sensitive person. And a highly sensitive person is actually proven in the central nervous system is that we actually do have a more sensitive central nervous system than other people or what's typical. So, I mean, there is, for me, science is spirituality. Spirituality is science. I think they're very, very connected. And I don't know the science behind reincarnation and reincarnating your soul and things like that. But very connected, yeah. I actually bought a book. I always talk about books that maybe can go into that a little bit. I also read a little bit of You Are the Universe by Deepak Chopra, and it's really hard for me because I'm very right-brained to kind of grasp a lot of the facts. But, you know, it's really proven that basically we are made from one of the same genes as Stardust, so we're literally the universe. Like, I always say the universe is inside you, and literally it is. That's the scientific version of it, right? So anyway, going back to Starseeds, and that definition is, yes, it ties into reincarnation because a starseed is somebody that has had a past life that does not resonate with this planet, which is so interesting. And for me, I have always been obsessed with like other life out there, or aliens, or the galaxy. I mean, I'm not super into like astrology and things like that. I'm slowly, like at a turtle's pace getting into that. But I've always felt like I have not had a home. Like I'm, and this is probably gonna sound terrible, but you know, keep an open mind. But you know, I've always felt like my home wasn't necessarily like on this planet. Like I've always been like searching for something that I feel like is home, but it's not. I cannot get there. Same. Okay, cool. We have another starseed on. Great. And it's so strange because, you know, previous to my spiritual awakening, I just thought I was crazy. And, you know, learning about starseeds and learning what they actually are is so super enlightening, right? So I think it's super cool, and it's, like, super trippy. This is what I always tell people who do, like, psychedelics. I'm not against them or anything, but I can have trippy experiences in a meditative practice or just talking about something like this. But I put together, like, a couple other... So if you... Well, first of all, like, you know, if you're wondering if you're a starseed, that's probably the number one indicator that you are, is that you long for a home that doesn't feel like planet Earth. And the only way I can tell you that is, like, how to figure that out is it's just something that's deep in your soul, and you can feel it. You can feel it, or you can know it, or you can sense it in any, whatever sense is strongest to you. If you're an empath, you'll feel it that way. For me, it's feeling and knowing. So it's just something I feel and something that I know. And yeah, all I have to say to that is just use your gifts as an empath and try to figure out if that's something that resonates with you. But another thing I wanted to say about Starseeds is that another indication could be you've been a wise soul at a young age, right? Like, and I'm not, like, I'm very, like, I'm not saying I'm the most mature person or whatnot, but, like, I remember, like, being a teenager and my boyfriend and I breaking up, and I wanted to go into, like, serious couples therapy, and he's like, what are you talking about? And for me, that's like an example of something that is very old soul, right? I wanted to talk about my feelings. I wanted to work through it. I knew, things were very heavy, and I just, that's like a very, very old soul thing to do. And I feel like I've always had this inner wisdom, even when I was, like, drinking my face off and, being a regular, early 20s type person. But it's like I've had this inner wisdom of feeling like, like I knew universal law deep down. And it wasn't until my spiritual awakening when I was 27 that I was able to actually be conscious of what my true beliefs and what my truth is. So that could be another indicator for you guys. Also, and let me preface this by saying I don't believe in I don't want this to come across as a victim mentality, but this next indicator could be a good indicator that you're a starseed. It's basically you feel unique to others, and you feel like others can't understand you. I have gone through my whole life wondering why people can't understand me. Like, my favorite line, and I thought I was just like a rebellious teenager or something, and I thought sometimes that I was crazy, but like my whole life I was just wondering, why can't other people understand me? And that's part, I was an empath, but, part being a starseed too. So it was pretty frustrating, especially when you don't feel like you fit into the same mentality as the rest of your family. Like, something's up, like, something is up. So that's very, very interesting. And the other thing, too, and the last one is, thanks for the likes and hearts, guys, is vivid dreams. Now, okay, everybody dreams, right? And they say you don't dream unless you're, like, in the deepest part of, I guess, beta? I guess that's what they call it. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. And if you're highly intuitive, you have, like, very, very vivid dreams. But it also could mean that you're a starseed, right? Because it is, and honestly, you could have dreams of the other, of another life, which is so interesting. I think it's happened to me like a couple of times. I don't think it's happened to me a lot. I would love to figure out my past lives. That would be super cool. I did do a past life regression, but I stayed in this life because I still had some trauma that needed to be healed, some wounds that needed to be healed, and I didn't go into other lives. So yeah, okay, so those were just some indicators about a starseed. Basically, that doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. Hopefully, people that are watching this can really resonate if they need to. One thing that really bothers me is when people feel like they're alone. And, that second thing I said about, saying people don't understand me. I get it. I do. If you feel like you can't just fit in anywhere, there's nowhere you fit in, I totally get it. I've spent my whole life just trying, whether it's family, whether it's a location, whether it's an apartment, whether it's a group of friends, it's like, you just gotta accept who you are, where you are, and that there are other like-minded people, and it's so important to surround yourself with like-minded people, other people that can resonate with this, I recommend going online. That's how I was able to connect with people initially. I thought it was crazy. But it's just such relief to connect with people on that deeper level. As far as, you know, these quote unquote thoughts, because you think they're thoughts, right? But that inner knowing that you don't, you know, of being a starseed is not a thought. It's an inner knowing. It doesn't come from the mind. It comes from your intuition, and it comes from your soul. So it's really, really good if you guys surround yourself with people that really kind of understand that. So cool. I said it wasn't going to be long. I have no idea how long I've been talking. But look what happened. Every time I say that, I go longer. All right, cool, guys. I'll be on tomorrow. Thanks for hanging with me on this topic. If you want to talk more, let me know. I'll throw my Calendly scheduler link into the comments if you guys want to chat some more. So, yeah, cool. All right, you guys have a great day. I will be on tomorrow. Bye.